All right, the big issue we're discussing, controversy in Uttarakhand's Haridwar after signs saying non-Hindus are not allowed were put up at the main bathing ghat, that is at Pauri. Now, this comes amid demands to declare the Haridwar Kumbh area Hindu zone and restrict entry to non-Hindus at all religious places and Ganga ghats within it. Now, the signs read non-Hindu prohibited area. The action has been taken by the Ganga Sabha that manages the ghat, and they've justified the ban, saying it's been in place according to old Haridwar Municipal Corporation Act from 1916. So they're quoting that act to justify the signs now. These signs were actually put up after a video had gone viral 3 days ago, which showed two young men wearing a traditional Arab attire roaming around there. It caused a controversy. It was later revealed that these men were Hindus. They'd come to make a video for their YouTube channel. But the ban has evoked sharp reactions from all across the political spectrum, with AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi slamming the ban, calling it unconstitutional and against equality. Meanwhile, Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has targeted the BJP, calling the ban an act by the party and an attempt by the government to stop water from flowing into Uttar Pradesh. Just listen in.
ये जो है संविधान के खिलाफ है, ये अनटचेबिलिटी है, ये संविधान के खिलाफ है, ये राइट टू इक्वालिटी के खिलाफ है। आप इस तरह अगर कानून मानते रहेंगे तो फिर क्या क्या हो जाएगा फिर? और गैर जरूरी कि आप अरे भाई नौकरी क्यों नहीं देते? नौजवान बच्चों को नौकरी दो ना।
सब बीजेपी वालों ने लगवाए होंगे। ये बीजेपी वाले ही लगवाते हैं, बीजेपी वाले ही करते हैं, बीजेपी वाले ही शोर मचाते हैं, बीजेपी वाले ही पकड़ने की बात करेंगे। जितने भी होर्डिंग लगे होंगे सब बीजेपी वालों ने लगाए। उनसे कहो हर की पौड़ी से ऐसा पानी रोक लो, तुम रख लो सब अपना पानी, यूपी में मत पानी आने देना। ये इसलिए साजिश कर रहे हैं कि यूपी में पानी ना आए, गंगा जल रोक लो आप लोग, हर की पौड़ी में रख लो पानी अपना सब। ये जानबूझ के कर रहे हैं।
कि उसका एक ही जवाब मैं देना चाहता हूं। मैं इसके पहले भी माध्यम में बताया, कांग्रेस पक्ष का इतिहास निकालिए, बीजेपी पक्ष का इतिहास निकाल के देखिए। कांग्रेस पार्टी जब भी चुनाव हटा है, आवाम के बीच में जाते हैं, हमारे प्रोग्राम बता के हम लोग वोट मांगते हैं। बीजेपी वाले कभी उनका प्रोग्राम बता के वोट मांगे, हिंदू मुसलमान, ना उनको कोई हिंदू चाहिए ना उनको मुसलमान चाहिए। क्यों? डेवलपमेंट है ही नहीं ना, डेवलपमेंट वर्क जीरो है, खाली यही काम है इनको।
यह केवल और केवल हरिद्वार में पहुंचने वाले समस्त तीर्थयात्रियों, श्रद्धालुओं को और हरिद्वार के समस्त नागरिकों के लिए एक सार्वजनिक सूचना है, जिसको ध्यान में रखते हुए यहाँ पर बोर्ड लगाए गए। और निश्चित रूप से यह जानकारी, यह कानून व्यवस्था जो 1916 का म्युनिसिपल एक्ट है, उसके अंतर्गत यहाँ अहिंदू का प्रवेश निषेध है। मुझे लगता है कि इसकी जानकारी बहुत कम लोगों को थी और यहाँ आने वालों की संख्या अत्यधिक है। तो कुछ लड़के अभी यहाँ पर आए जिन्होंने मुस्लिम लिबास पहन करके यहाँ पर इस क्षेत्र में विचरण करा और रील बनाई। मुझे लगता है कि उन बच्चों को भी यदि इस क्षेत्र के कानून व्यवस्था नियम की जानकारी होती तो निश्चित रूप से उस प्रकार की घटना यहाँ ना घट पाती और एक बड़ी घटना से हम बच सकते थे।
All right, to talk about this controversy that's been sparked with these signs coming up in Pauri, we're joined by Sajjan Kumar, political analyst, also Kapil Madan, political analyst who supports Congress, Sajjan supporting the BJP there, also Sarvesh Tripathi, spokesperson of Samajwadi Party, and Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst and author. Thank you all for joining us. And first to you, Sajjan Kumar, what is your comments on these signs coming up? Is restricting access to religious places based on religion really justified, and is it against the constitution, as Mr. Owaisi said?
Look, I mean, this has been a dormant law, and whether the law is valid or not, whether it passes the constitutional morality, because it's a colonial law, so hitherto it has not been challenged. So certainly it needs to be see the legal matter. But personally, I think it's over the board drive, a knee-jerk reaction, because one has to make a differentiation between the religious sensibilities, like you cannot operate non-vegetarian shops, etc. You cannot sell liquor. That is one thing. But to ban a different community altogether, not in a closed precinct like a temple, etc., which still is understandable, but in an open area like ghats. Why? Because the evening aarti at Har Ki Pauri or the Ganga Ghats at Banaras, they are popular across the world. Many foreign tourists come
That's right.
and witness those spectacle, right? And they convey the civilizational heritage of India. And I think banning altogether something on a community-centric basis is overdrive, and I think more than response, it's a reaction, and it must be reconsidered and taken back.
Right, it does send out a very exclusionary message, and as we said, this Uttarakhand is a place where many foreigners also visit, and tourism is a big part of Uttarakhand's industry there. But Kapil Madan, your reaction to this, and this is an old law which is being cited, as Sajjan Kumar also said there, some 1917 law that is being cited to justify putting up these signs.
So Gargi, essentially what we are debating is whether Constitution of India applies to Har Ki Pauri or not. That's essentially what we're debating. I mean, you can't quote a pre-colonial some legislation, and that's a delegated municipal legislation, to do something which is absolutely directly in conflict with, Article 14, Article 15, Article 25, Article 17. I mean, it's a gross violation of the provisions of the Constitution of India. And what is the justification you are trying to give? What is the justification? The faith does not, protect any kind of discrimination. And by doing this, I believe, if the state does not take any action to it, then I am quite sure that the state is also complicit in it. Any particular authority, be it a religious authority, under the name of religious freedom, you can't do something which is grossly unconstitutional. So this is very, very unfortunate, and I think the state should intervene. The concerned authorities should intervene, and they should pass appropriate orders, take appropriate actions to set aside and to remove this kind of
all right.
decision taken by any authority.
Well, we'll have to wait and see whether the Uttarakhand government will actually do anything like that. But Sarvesh Tripathi, Akhilesh Yadav, taking it a step forward, called it a conspiracy by the BJP, and then said that attempts will be made now to, hold back Ganga water for Uttar Pradesh. Isn't that some sort of exaggeration of what's taking place here?
See, Gagi, if you understand this, the Pushkar Dhami government is now, it was always on the cards that this would happen. It was cornered on Ankita Bhandari case, so they had to come up with a plan. And again, they stick to the basics, which is communal hatred politics. So now it is a completely government sponsored thing, because this is unconstitutional. This is violation of Article 13 Municipal Act. They're citing a Act of Municipal Corporation in 1916. So Article 13 of Indian Constitution clearly says that if any law or act, if it is inconsistent with the Constitution of India, it would be void. So this act is void, ab initio. So this is a conspiracy because they are doing it for purpose. They are doing it for purpose because Uttarakhand government is cornered. So they would be doing everything that is in their hands to save their name, and they'll reach out more on it. So what Rashtriya Adhyaksh Akhilesh Yadav is saying is it not exaggerating? It is very true.
But to say that they'll hold back the waters and all that, I mean, isn't that like a alarmist sort of a statement to make?
They can do anything. If they can do this, what is happening in Haridwar, if they can do this, it is unconstitutional. It is rubbish, absolute rubbish what they are doing. See, if a DM, non-Hindu DM comes in the district, if a CM, non-Hindu CM comes in the state, or a PM, non-Hindu PM comes in the country, so are they not an authority to visit the place? Can you say that? So if they can do this, they can do anything. If they want to do anything, they would cite another colonial law for that matter. They are new Britishers. Again, what they are doing in Varanasi, Kashi, what they are doing in Prayagraj, it is just if they can do this, they can do anything.
All right, let me get in Mithun, Vijay Kumar, your comments on this, and there have been instances, and it's been said that the steps like this being taken, is it about political symbolism and identity politics, and do you think it's important for the state government to also come out and give clarity on these notices that have come up?
See, I heard a lot of comments here. So let's look at the facts rather than the optics, right? The Ganga Sabha is not inventing a new rule. It is simply providing visual notification of the Haridwar Municipal Act of 1916, which some think are colonial. So anyway, it has been there for 100 years. So, if you think it was...
We've had independence since then, and we've had a constitution since then.
Then do you believe in the Indian Contract Act of 1872? The Telegraph Act of 1885? The Charitable and Religious Trust Act of 1920. So if these are laws that can be, taken in and that can be believed in, then what is the problem with this particular law? So the problem is not, the law itself. It is actually that the politics that is being played here. And let's also address the tourist argument. That is actually a confusion of categories is what I believe. A pilgrimage site is for participating in a specific, spiritual process. It's not a museum that anyone can just come in. In a hospital, you have silent zones because that is for the purpose of healing. In a laboratory, you have restricted entry. In Pauri, we have Hindu only zones because the purpose is very specific. It's for religious rituals, and a tourist is a guest does not walk into the host's house and demand that the host change the rules of the house. And if the Haridwar Municipal Act says this is a restricted area, a tourist's curiosity does not override the law of the land. And logically, if the law exists, it must be communicated to the public to ensure compliance.
But look at the kind of messaging then being put out, and where does it end? Then you'll say the whole of Haridwar maybe, when the Kumbh is underway, the non-Hindus shouldn't be allowed there at all. Kapil Madan, your comments on that?
Of course, as I said, let me just, try to respond to what Mr. Kumar is saying. Mr. Kumar is trying to compare apple and oranges. What he's trying to say is, look, there are, pre-colonial laws which we are still following and we are still, using. But let me just give him a very basic, elementary, concept of the Constitution. When the Constitution of India was promulgated, it was made very clear that every law and any law which is inconsistent with any of the articles of the Constitution, that becomes void. I mean, you can't simply say, Mr. Kumar, I never interrupted. Please hold on. I never interrupted. Hold on. Let's be civil. Let's be civil. And
go ahead. We're running out of time.
I never interrupted.
Kapil Madan, don't interrupt, please. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So all I am trying to say here is that this is something which is, grossly, plainly, manifestly unconstitutional, and the state must intervene. State must intervene in a situation like this. You can't simply say that, because there is this is a religious body, therefore we will prohibit any entry of any person who's, who comes from a, different religion. I don't see any other purpose rather than political purpose behind this kind of a tic-tac.
All right, we're running out of time. Final word I want to give to Sajjan Kumar. You heard the argument. Some, as we just heard Mithun, Vijay Kumar really supporting, justifying this move. What do you think the larger issue is here? And then it's never ending, isn't it? If we do this here, somewhere else, another demand will be raised. And what do you think the state government should do?
Yeah, first about you do not send your civilizational, message in a strength to the world by being so, coming with a knee-jerk reaction. The question about this particular law is that it was dormant, unlike many other laws that Mr. Mithun Kumar just cited. This is one. Two, you cannot boost and take pride in having around 100 crore, pilgrimage visiting Prayagraj, Kumbh, and then on Har Ki Pauri, you just try to limit that to the identity basis. The question is that yes, religious sensibilities matter. So appeal to the sensibilities. What about many foreign tourists who come and want to be a participant according to the Hindu sensibilities, religious sensibilities? What is the basis to exclude them, right? To bring an dormant law all of a sudden just because of our petty politics? No, that is not what a Indian Hindu civilizational message should be about. This is very parochial and narrow-minded.
All right, final word, Mithun Vijay Kumar, because, I just want to give you also that the right to counter this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make one quick point. Kapil Madan was quoting constitution and articles. So I would like to tell him in India, Article 26 of the Indian Constitution grants religious groups the right to manage their own affairs when it comes to matters of religion. And the Kumbh area is the epicenter of Hindu spiritual life. So preserving the demographic
Well,
and
we do know that when the
integrity
Kumbh
of
took place
India
recently in
during
Uttar
the sensitive
Pradesh, there
times,
were like,
Ardh Kumbh,
in fact, it was
the
touted about how foreigners
right
are
to manage
coming there to
religious
see the
institutions.
Kumbh, and it was a big tourist attraction as well. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you all for joining us on the program. So big controversy after these signs came up at Har Ki Pauri, that is the main bathing ghat of Haridwar.